Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are talking about my very favorite and least favorite powders. I have pressed, I have loose, I have drugstore, I have high-end. I was noticing the past couple of days I have been really a little bit over the top with my powder application. I have been using 3 different powders and I was like, gosh, this is excessive, but my makeup is looking so great. And I was going through my drawer of powders and I realized I was holding on to a bunch of them that I just don't use, I don't like. And I thought I would sit down and give you the dish on the items that I absolutely love and use and adore, and they are like the top hit list, and the ones that are just like you can do without, because I have tried a ton. I've tried even more than what we're going to discuss today. This is just like the important things that we need to talk about. All right, when I am doing my makeup, I really love baking. You guys know that, and I have a video specifically that walks you through the steps of how I use the technique of baking. A lot of people feel like if you have drier skin or more fine lines under your eyes that it will exaggerate them, but for me I feel like it does the reverse. It really sets my concealer. Nothing moves, nothing budges. It keeps it nice and matte and smooth and just locked in. So I really like that technique. When I am doing baking recently, my favorite is the RCMA No Color Powder. This is affordable. I'm going to find a place that you can purchase this online, because whenever I talk about this, you guys are like, where do I buy it? I can't get it at the drugstore. I get that it's cheap, but I can't buy it anywhere. I pick mine up from Namies, but you can buy this, I'm sure, online. I'll hunt it down for you in the description box. You get 3 ounces. I want to say this was $10. It's very, very affordable. I cannot find the ingredients of what is in here to save my life. I have no idea why it's so magical, but it just is. Scott Barnes uses this product. I know that. It's actually how I ended up using it. I saw that he had it on his little makeup collection. I was like, oh, okay, it's great. It's just a beautiful product, and I would say this is probably my #1 recommendation because of the price point and because of how great it works, and it is translucent. It's not going to add any color to your makeup. It's not going to change the color of your foundation or whatever you are setting, and it's just beautiful. From there, my next favorite translucent is this guy. Yes. This is a very popular powder in the YouTube beauty space. I feel like everybody has this on hand. I go back and forth. I'll be really into this, and then I'm like, let's try the Laura Mercier again. Let's bring her back. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful powder. It does not give me as long of a lasting set as the RCMA, but it gives me almost a softer, just a little bit more creamy type of a powdery set. And I like this for all over the face, specifically just everywhere. Another one that I love for setting my makeup everywhere that leaves my skin completely locked into place, but is especially good when my skin is on the more dry side and powder just kind of exaggerates that dryness. This almost has a little bit of an iridescence. If you look at it really, really closely, you can see it. It's nothing that you can see just looking in or on your skin at all, but it does have just this little slip of sheen. But it is a setting powder. It isn't translucent. This is the powder from Mer. You get a ton of product in here, more so than most jars of product. It is very expensive, but it is one of those luxury products that I tried out during WTF that I absolutely fell in love with, that I was just like, you have a home right in, front and center of my vanity, because I'm going to use you all the time. And I do. So that one is so good. If you're on a budget, you're like, yeah, Mer, not in this lifetime. Go this route. Coty Airspun, they have different finishes, they have different colors, they have translucent, they have unscented, they have the original that's really, really scented, which drives me crazy for about 15 seconds and then it goes away. It is a very potent floral, almost musky scent. I was using translucent extra coverage for the longest time, and then I noticed that using naturally neutral actually worked even better. Now I will use this to set my entire foundation. I will use this to set my lid before putting on eyeshadow. I will use this to bake. This is probably my most used versatile powder that I have on hand. It is extremely finely milled, and I love using a velour puff when I use this guy right here. I will actually go in, it is messy, just warning you of that. I will actually go in the lid like this, bang off the excess, and I'll continue to do that on my hand. I'll actually kind of clap the powder out of here, and then I'll go in and I'll press, 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 press. And that really just helps to give you this pore-free, gorgeous finish to the face. It locks everything in beautifully, and also, even if you have drier skin, if you're using a cream product on the face, you want to use at least a light dusting of powder. That way your bronzer, your blush, other powder products that you might be using on top of it are going to glide on and not catch or be patchy or uneven. It just helps everything else to apply more beautifully. So I am a big fan of powder for so many reasons, not just for anti-shining the face. Let's talk about another drugstore gem that I love so much. $5 right here, you cannot go wrong. They have different shades. Now, what I like to do is typically I will take a smaller tapered brush and I will go in and just touch up the areas where I see oil coming through as a touch-up product throughout the day. And that works really nicely so that you don't add a layer everywhere and cake up your makeup. That rhymed. So don't cake up your makeup. This is so good. I have been loyal to this forever. I used this everywhere when I had more oily skin, but my skin is a little bit drier these days. So I don't pack this all over the face, but I do like to set, you know, those areas where I know oil is gonna go through if I'm having a night out and I really wanna lock everything in. Or as mentioned, I will touch up with this just on those little crazy areas. This was sent to me, and for the longest time I didn't use it, and I actually was like, this packaging annoys me, I don't know, and I was being kind of bratty about it. I'm actually really happy that I held on to it, because I love this for the same purpose as the Rimmel Stay Matte, but it is a little bit more potent, and it is a loose powder. So you can actually, you know, take it out, you can actually bake a little bit around the nose. I don't know why right here I get shiny. Right here I get shiny all the time. It's so annoying. So I can actually bake with this loose powder that is super mattifying, unlike the pressed one from Rimmel. This is, of course, a product you would purchase at Sephora or Macy's. It's a little more up there in price than $5, but this is a great product and I do really love it. It's the Agent Zero Shine. I have to mention this just because I was opening up my drawer and I was like, ooh, I haven't used that one in a long time, but that was so good. And actually doing this video reminded me that I want to keep this out on my vanity and I want to give it a whirl again because I remember having really great skin days. And it's so funny, sometimes I will watch my old videos and I'll even be like, dang, what was I using? Like, what was I doing with my makeup? Because right now my skin is haywire and I was doing something good back then. And a lot of the videos where I was like, ooh, I like that, it was when I was using this powder. So I'm gonna give it a good try again. This is the Invisible Finish Loose Setting Powder in Madison, and this is from Fiona Styles. There is a lighter one as well. Just a really awesome setting powder. We can kind of see a theme here that I prefer loose setting powders. I just think that they lock the makeup in much better, and I think they are prettier as far as pore minimizing and just really being able to press it into the skin. So recently I picked up this guy from Armani and I use it more as a bronzer. This is super expensive, but I had heard great things about how silky and beautiful this is, and I'll put it on for you guys right now so you can see what I'm talking about as far as using it as a bronzer. Because this is a bit dark for me. It's the shade 4.5. They do have lighter shades. Do you see I'm getting like a little bit of a hit of color there? This is a beautiful powder. I think I do want to get a lighter one. It's like a non-cakey touch-up powder. If you have dry skin, I think you would love this because it's so silky. It's not very mattifying. I don't think that it soaks up a ton of oil and is going to be preventing lots of shine, but it's just a beautiful, silky, gorgeous pressed powder. And then of course, Charlotte Tilbury. this powder is awesome for dry skin. This looks so good on my mom, and her skin is very dry. It does not sit on top of the skin. It kind of just melts in and sets everything, but somehow has like this nice dewy luminous type of a finish that's not glowy, it's not shiny, it just makes the skin look really good. Can I just say that when I forget to powder, I have a crappy skin day. I notice that my makeup is not as good, and I even notice when I don't bake and use my particular powder around my nose. I notice powder is the magic maker. It really can help elevate your makeup game if you are into, you know, blushing and highlighting and everything else. This is like the nice sealant to your foundation, literally. So it's important. All right, the items that I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. This one from Clé de Peau. I did a WTF on this guy right here, super freaking expensive. Looks very natural on the skin, but I don't like it. I don't reach for it. Using it as, I was gonna say using it as a baker. Using it underneath the eyes to bake, I just feel like it gives you this weird halo of translucent kind of white cast. I don't know, I'm just not into it. I don't really like it. I haven't used it more than 2 times after filming that video, and I don't know why I'm still holding on to it. This guy right here from Cogen Do, this has to be the weirdest experience as far as a powder goes, because at first I really loved this. It was one of those things where I was like, yes, sculpt out my face. Like, I'm even gonna bake the center of my nose and everything's gonna look so sculpted and highlighted. And then I would go and watch the video that I filmed after having done my makeup using this, and I'd be like, geez, like that looks kind of chalky. Like, what is going on there? And I'd like make a note, like, don't use that powder for filming. And then it just kind of made me self-conscious, like, is that what it looks like in real life? Because I don't want that. This is a very intense powder. It does not say that it is translucent. It does give you a very strong highlight, which to the eye can look like, yes, this is good. But I think in photos and on film, and maybe your friends getting a little too close to you in real life, it's just a little bit too heavy with the white cast, so I don't recommend this one. I know a lot of you guys have actually asked me to review this one, and I've been holding off because I did play with it for a very long time before coming up with my final opinion, and it's not for me. Love their cleansing water. I'm still putting one of their foundations to the test. It's a little bit more dewy than I would personally like, but I am putting that to the test, kind of behind the scenes update. Okay, and then we have the Nars Translucent Crystal. This is a light reflecting setting powder. The reason I got this is because I love the Nars Olympia in the contour and highlight duo. Those powders are beautiful. I love them under the eye. I love Albatross for a highlight. I like a lot of Nars blushes, so I was like, their powder has to be great. And the thing I don't like about this is that it is super reflective and it doesn't set things the way I want them to be set. So this was disappointing to me. I'm not a fan. I think that I just prefer sticking with your traditional translucent powders and then adding color and highlight and shine with other products on top of it. So there you have it. That is so much powder. Oh my gosh, I've created quite a mess here. I really hope that you enjoy this favorites and hate it's and a rundown of, you know, all of my top hit list items and the ones that I need to part ways with. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think I should do next? Do you want to see mascara, concealer, liner? I'm happy to do these videos and kind of take a little bit of a tour through my collection and share with you guys, you know, how I use products, what my favorites are and why, and all of that good stuff. So I hope to hear from you in the comment section below. I read everything. Leave those comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in my next video.